Team Cup, this is the big one. The British Individual Riders Championship. I'm quite sure if you ask most people in Cycle Speedway the one title you would most like to win, it would be the British individual title. This is the one. It's a new sponsor this year, Lexi & Associates of Pearl Assurance. And straight away we're going to bring out the riders now and introduce them to today's special guest of honour. So if the riders can march out, please, led on the parade by Pete Young from Poole, Steve Harris from Bristol, St George that is of course, Paul Dyson from Sowerby Bridge, Richard Lloyd from Dudley, sorry about that, Pete Young, Mark Griffiths, Dave Hemsley, Steve Harris, Paul Dyson, Richard Lloyd, Merv Cooper, Martin Kent, John Cordery, Phil Philbrow, Jimmy Varnish, Jason Pratt, Julian Hardy, Martyn Hepworth, Craig Harcourt and Adam Bardsley. And now, two local councillors, Councillors Hall and Lum of the Heckmondwike councillors on the Kirklees Council are going to be introduced by Mr Bill Gill to all the competitors this afternoon. So, riding at number 1 on the programme, Pete Young from Poole, score of 34 points at the weekend, 17 points at Astley and Tilsley, 17 at Tameside. Scotland's number 1 rider and most capped rider. I do believe this is Pete's first senior final. Riding at number 2, from Wednesfield, Butcher and Baker Foods, Mark Griffiths. 33 points over the weekend, 19 points at Astley and Tilsley, 14 points at Tameside, and this is Mark's 3rd final. Riding at number 3 is Dave Hemsley from Leicester SBS Distribution, 36 points, 20 at Stockport, the maximum, one of only 2 this weekend, and 16 at Sowerby Bridge. The current World Master, of course, among numerous other things. Riding at number 4, Steve Harris from Bristol St George, 31 points over the weekend, 16 at Sowerby Bridge, 15 at Astley and Tilsley. A very familiar face in this area, having ridden here at Heckmondwike a couple of years back. Number 5 is Paul Dyson from Sowerby Bridge, 32 points over the weekend, 15 at Stockport and 17 on his home Sowerby Bridge track, and rode in his first senior final back in 81 at Bow. Richard Lloyd from Dudley rides at number 6. Score of 34 points, 16 at Stockport and 18 at Stockport again the following day. Riding in his 2nd final this year. Number 7, Merv Cooper from Wednesfield, Butcher and Baker Foods. 35 points over the weekend, 19 at Tameside and 16 again the following day at the same track. And Merv, surprisingly enough, riding in his first British senior final. Number 8, the local lad, Martin Kent from Heckmondwike, Bannon and Ward. 31 points, 16 at Tameside and 15 at Astley and Tilsley, riding in his 3rd British final. Number 9 is John Cordery from Basildon Timber Merchants, riding in his 3rd British final, scored 37 points over the weekend, 18 at Astley and 19 at Tameside. Phil Philbrow, I'm sure he'll forgive me for saying the oldest competitor in the field this afternoon, he's proud of it. 32 points, 16 at Sowerby Bridge, 16 at Astley and Tilsley. Jimmy Varnish riding at number 11, Wednesfield, Butcher and Baker Foods, 38 points over the weekend, 19 at Stockport, 19 at Astley and Tilsley. And trying to catch up here a little bit, Jason Pratt, number 12 from Great Blakenham, 31 points over the weekend, 15 at Tilsley, 16 at Tameside, 16 at Astley, riding in his first British final this year. Julian Hardy rides at number 13 from Poole, 34 points, 16 at Stockport, 18 at Sowerby Bridge, and he's riding in his 2nd British senior final. Number 14 is Martyn Hepworth, the current British champion, 39 points, the top qualifier, 19 at Sowerby Bridge and 20 at Tameside. That was the other maximum this weekend, and one gets the feeling that that 19 at Sowerby could have been 20 had it been needed. Number 15 is Craig Harcourt from Dudley, 35 points, 16 at Tameside, 19 at Stockport, and riding in his 3rd British final. Number 16, completing the official lineup, is Adam Bardsley from Poole, 31 points, 18 at Sowerby Bridge, 13 at Astley and Tilsley, and the regular Irish international. Riding in his first British final. And then we move on to the two reserves. Lee Gurley from Thurrock Caleb Gravel, who won that run-off. He scored 30 points for 13 at Stockport and 17 at Sowerby Bridge. And finally, Mark Hemsley, the other reserve, coming second place in that run-off. 16 points at Tilsley and 14 at Stockport, also on 30 points. Mark, of course, rides for Tameside High Style. So that's the official lineup. The presentation's completed. And as soon as the riders have done their lap of the track, or a couple of laps of the track, we'll get back to the pits and get racing underway.
Well, Pete, unlucky, mate.
Come on, then.
So Jimmy Varnish gets his challenge into... Well, another eventful pack race there, heat 5, the win going to Julian Hardy from Poole, taking full advantage of his 2 Grid 1s. Well, another event. Heat 11 then, the winner Dave Hemsley of Leicester. In second place, Martin Kent from Heckmondwike. Third, John Cordray. Well, it's a no end to the drama. Regional Executive, the organising committee that have been responsible for this year's championships here in the north of England. So if those two gentlemen come out on the centre green now, we're going to make the presentations. First of all, to the senior championship referee, Mr. Ken Taylor.
Who's got the trophy?
Ken Taylor, very experienced senior official. Not everybody agrees with his decisions, but somebody has to stand in the centre green, and Ken Taylor was the man today, and a jolly fine job he did too. So Ken Taylor gets his award as referee of the 1991 Senior Individual Championship. And now just having a photograph taken. Because don't forget, the championships this year, sponsored this year by new backer Lexi and Associates, part of the Pearl Assurance Group. And now on to the two reserves. Lee Galley from Thurrock, Ayrup Gravel. He rode in 2 races this afternoon in place of an injured rider and scored 5 points. Lee Galley from Thurrock, Ayrup Gravel.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise for you there, but you have to turn round, you win a few rounds, you get used to it. So you face the top and smile. Thank you. Thanks very much.
And from Tameside High Style Upholstery, Mark Hemsley. Mark didn't get it right this afternoon, but like Lee, he scored 30 points. Still lead the centre green, Lee, please. Will all the riders please line up on the centre after they receive their awards. As I say, Lee Galley and Mark Hemsley both scored 30 points and took part in that run-off earlier on to determine the 2 reserves for today's meeting. So on to the riders in the main body of the field, and riding at number 1 on your programme, Pete Young from Poole scored 11 points.
Hello, young Peter. I'm not getting used to this. Turn around, face the
Move that way a bit.
That's it. We don't want a chimney growing out your head. Hold it there. Thank you.
We'll just skip over the number 2 rider for the moment. On to number 3 on your programme. Dave Hemsley from Leicester, SBS Distribution. Many people's favourite to win the title today, but it wasn't to be. He scored 14 points. So that's Dave Hemsley from Leicester.
Hello, young Dave. Thank you very much. Well done, matey.
Thank you.
Riding at number 4 on the programme this afternoon from Bristol St George, West Scania, Steve Harris. And Steve scored 14 points.
Steve, you finished the video? No, Steve. Did you enjoy that? That was good.
Thank you.
And riding at number 5 on your programme, a very unlucky rider this afternoon, earned his place in the final but suffered 2 very nasty falls, one causing an injury which put him out of the meeting. From Selby Bridge, Paul Dyson, score of 3 points from 3 rides in fact. Oh, Paul isn't here actually with us unfortunately. Number 6 on your programme from Dudley, Richard Lloyd. Richard scored 10 points.
Richard, could you move this way? Not completely. Thank you.
And from Wednesfield, Butcher and Baker Foods, number 7 rider on your programme, Mert Cooper. Mert scored 12 points.
Mervyn Sawyer. Do you think you could tip your hat back just a shade? It's getting a terrible shadow. Thank you.
I'm sure next we'll get a big round of applause for the Yorkshireman who was well in contention this afternoon from Heckmondwike riding at number 8, Martin Kent, Heckmondwike Bannon Award, scored 14 points, just missed out on the trophy by 1 point, or at least getting in a runner. Just 1 point adrift for Martin Kent.
Thank you.
Riding at number 9 on your programme this afternoon from Basildon Timber Merchants, Basildon Club sponsored by Basildon Timber Merchants, John Cordery, and John scored 14 points. He also just missed out by at 1 point.
Could you tip your head up a bit? That's it. Luke sees the light. Thank you.
And riding at number 10 on your programme this afternoon, sponsored by the Norwich Co-op, the Eton Club from Phil Pilbrow. Phil scored 10 points, and the oldest competitor in the field, he was well involved in the action all the way through. Well done, Phil.
So he's done it before, he knows what he's doing.
Zips up.
One to go.
Really not nice thing to say about it.
Thank you.
We'll just slide over the number 11 rider at the moment, on to number 12, which is Jason Pratt from Great Lakenham, and Jason scored 8 points.
Hold on, Jason. All right, Jason. What's the third? Didn't make quite flexible.
Right, but no problem. Thank you.
Watching trees going out my head.
Now it's them lamps there.
Skipping over number 13, we move on to number 14.
Nothing worse than
the defending champion from Poole, Martyn Hepworth. And Martin, of course, just about everything went wrong for Martin this afternoon. Finished with a very disappointing 9 points. Gave his all, as he always does, but it wasn't Martin's day today.
Thank you.
Riding at number 15 on your programme, from Dudley, Craig Harcourt. Craig scored 13 points. Before in his first ride, scoring any chance he really had, but 13 battling points from Craig.
You tip your head back a bit. Lovely, thank you.
And completing the riders outside of your first three, riding at number 16 on the programme from Poole, Adam Bardsley. Adam scored 12 points.
Thank you.
And now on to the big three. In third place this afternoon, many people's choice of a possible winner. He almost made it. From Wednesfield Butcher and Baker Foods, Mark Griffiths. 24-year-old Mark rode in his third British final and scored 15 points. Photographs being taken once again, and then Mark will move on to the third place position on the rostrum.
Hold it there, please. Thank you.
Moving on now to the runner-up this afternoon, a young man that almost caused a sensation. From Poole, Julian Hardy. Julian scored 16 points, riding in on his second British final. And 23-year-old Julian, well in the running there. 2 race wins after his first 2 rides, always in contention right throughout the afternoon. A well-earned second place runner-up spot for Julian Hardy.
You ain't done your zipper. Naughty boy.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, no problem. No, not good enough.
Thank you.
And now what can we say about the winner? A very well-known competitor. The gods up there must have smiled on him. I'm sure he'll forgive me for saying that. Just about everything that could have gone wrong avoided him this afternoon. A very worthy winner on the day. From Wednesfield Butcher and Baker Foods, Jimmy Varnish. 27-year-old Jimmy riding his 15th British final at various levels, his 7th senior final, and the winner this afternoon. For his living, he works for the Canon organisation as a salesman. And Jimmy Varnish, your winner this afternoon, British champion, sponsored of course this year by Lexington Associates, part of the Co-Insurance Group. I'm sure there's nobody more relieved than Jimmy this afternoon that he's got that shield in his grip.
Never mind his son, Jim, just keep smiling. Just think it's Australia, mate.
Yeah. Sunshine on your forehead. I get my shorts at bollocks.
Thank you.
Me, I'd like to thank very much the St John's Ambulance people. They've had a very, very busy afternoon here at Heckmondwike this afternoon. The St John's have done a sterling work as always, so a big thank you to them. And also, thank you to...
Can't touch this. Yeah, that's how we live.